The advertising environment is just like any other environment that exists. It involves an ever changing behavior from the people in the family, society, and country, changing ecological factors, and changing needs and platforms as time goes by. The advertising environment constitutes the responses the advertisers make to adapt to the constantly changing environment. These responses are classified into two categories. The first one is identified as a reactive response. Having no control over environmental elements, advertisers respond and adjust to what just happened. This may be damage control or quick decision making for any factor that needs immediate response. An example for this is the global pandemic brought by COVID-19 that definitely hit the advertising industry really hard. Because of the pandemic, most companies cut their budget for advertising, thus leaving ad agencies with fewer clients and incapacitating them to sustain their resources. The inevitable response of ad agencies is to lay off most of their employees. Some agencies that took the direction of laying off employees are BBDO, Saatchi & Saatchi, Publicis, and McCann World Group. The second response is identified as a proactive response. Having some degree of control, advertisers respond by trying to change the outcome through concrete action plans upon perceived steady changes. An example for this is the existence of the LGBTQ+ characters in the Philippine advertising industry as they become slowly accepted in the Philippine society. This representation is a deliberate response to the changing perspective of the society towards the LGBTQ+ community. Advertising is not an isolated field, and as changes in the environment continue, external forces would subsist to impact advertising. Three major forces affect the field of advertising. Economic force is one of the major forces affecting advertising. Not only it affects costs for products and services, but it also impacts the behavior of the market and the advertisers. The idea is that the increase of sales through advertising is directly proportional to the increase in budget for advertising. Ultimately, it affirms if there's an effectively communicated advertising message or none. Social force is another major consideration as its impact to the advertising industry is immense. The make or break of an advertising message is highly dependent on social forces constituted by social issues, demographics, and relevance. A great example for this are the social media advertisements of Ligo Sardines during the enhanced community quarantine in the Philippines. It is quite evident that the technological forces of the environment have changed the landscape of advertising. Advertising messages are not only seen in traditional and printed platforms, but also through broadcasted and digital ones. Advertising content is now convertible to various platforms where it will be communicated. All these elements and factors make up the advertising environment. The experiences and circumstances within the advertising industry varies per agency, the clients they serve, and the values they uphold. This, in turn, makes the advertising experience into infinite possibilities for growth within the industry.